Good morning, I'm Diane Macedo. Thanks for streaming with us. In today's update, Vice President Harris is in Guatemala this morning on her first international trip since taking office. This is her first stop on a Latin America trip aimed at addressing the root causes behind the flow of migrants to the U.S. border. The number of apprehensions at the border are on pace to hit the highest levels in decades. The Vice President will hold a press conference with the President of Guatemala at 1:35 Eastern, and we'll bring that to you live when it happens. Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos says he is going to space. Bezos is set to take off on July 20th on board a rocket built by his own space company, Blue Origin. His brother will also join, along with the winner of an auction for the last available seat. The flight will last about 30 minutes, taking the passengers to the edge of space, where they will experience weightlessness for about 3 minutes. And wildfires in Arizona have now forced back residents to start evacuating their homes. About 150 firefighters are battling the Telegraph fire south of Superior, Arizona. Officials say the fire started Friday afternoon. Now the sheriff's department has ordered Superior residents to be ready to evacuate if officials give that order. And record-high temperatures hit all across the country this weekend, with the first heat wave of the season in the Midwest and the Northeast. Some cities even opened cooling centers. Rob Marciano is in Central Park this morning, where temperatures hit 90 degrees this weekend. Good morning, Rob.
Hey, good morning, Diane. A relatively cool start to the day here in Central Park, and because of that, people are out walking their dogs, they're riding their bikes, they're running, they're doing whatever they can for exercise now before it gets really hot later on today. And for the first week of June, make no mistake, this is a significant, if not dangerous, heat wave in some spots of the country. As far north as Burlington, Vermont, 95 degrees for a record high temperature yesterday. With this video out of Manchester, New Hampshire, they hit a record high of 94 degrees, and people just trying to cool off any way they can. Get the kids out in the sprinkler and then try to catch some shade if you can. From there, we go to Philadelphia. They got the sprinklers on. The outdoor restaurants, al fresco, not very fresco, very toasty. And they're sweating in Philadelphia 3 days in a row there. Heat advisory up, and the humidity is increasing, too. Chicago, heading to the lakefront. Look at this. I mean, when's the last time you saw this many people on the lakefront? Before the pandemic, without a doubt. So people are out and they're trying to cool off any way they can. Today's high temperatures will be similar to yesterday's, and boy, the folks in the Dakotas, especially South Dakota, you've seen temps up and over 100 degrees for I don't know how long. Pier 102, 95 in Fargo. In Minneapolis, you're into 5. It'll be 6 days straight now of 90-plus degree heat, and the humidity building a little bit more, I think, on the East Coast. And because of that, heat advisories have been posted for some of the bigger cities away from the coast, and that would include Philadelphia. 96 degrees is what it will feel like in the shade with the humidity. 92 in Hartford, 93 degrees in Albany, and look at that, in Concord, New Hampshire, 95, even all the way up to Bangor, Maine. 95 degrees is going to be the heat index today. So try to stay cool. And yeah, I mean, climate change is playing a part in these heat waves, especially when we see them this early in the season. So do what you can to stay cool and protect the environment. Diane, back over to you.
All right, Rob Marciano, thank you. And the FDA has approved a groundbreaking treatment for obesity. An existing diabetes drug can now be administered at a higher dose for use with patients struggling with chronic obesity. I want to bring in ABC News medical contributor and emergency medical physician, Dr. Darian Sutton, for more on this and the latest on the pandemic. Dr. Sutton, thanks for being here. I want to start with this new treatment. How significant is this, and how does it work?
Well, this is incredibly important news in the world of obesity medicine. This medication, which is commonly known as semaglutide, it works by suppressing appetite. And what studies have shown is that it can decrease or contribute to weight loss by as much as 10 to 15% and as high as 20% in study participants. So it is incredibly important news because it adds to only a few of available medications in the treatment of obesity.
And when will it be available? And are there any limits on who will be able to get this treatment?
So it's currently available because it's currently in use for treatment of diabetes at different doses. And as far as availability and accessibility, that's a little bit of the issue. It's indicated for patients with a BMI over 30 or those under 30 with an obesity-related health condition. But unfortunately, it might not be accessible to all, as it will likely be expensive, but the price has yet to be determined.
Got it. And I also want to ask you about the pandemic, because nearly half of all eligible Americans are now fully vaccinated against COVID-19, everyone 12 and over. But the pace of new vaccinations is slowing. We're now averaging less than 1 million shots per day, down from 3.3 million in April. So where do you think that puts us in terms of reaching herd immunity?
So it lengthens our trajectory. When we look at our timeline in terms of when we can achieve that 70% vaccine-induced herd immunity, initially earlier on in the pandemic, when we were vaccinating 2 to 3 million people per day, we were hoping to see that number obtained in July or August, but now trajectories are pushing it to September and October, and so that's really unfortunate, as especially those who are young and healthy are presumably more hesitant to get the vaccine, and it's understandable, but the risk is not zero, and I'm trying to help my patients understand that COVID-19 is still very much a risk as this pandemic is ongoing. So I'm hopeful that more and more people continue to participate in vaccine use.
All right, Dr. Darian Sutton, great to talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Prince Harry and Meghan have announced the birth of their daughter, Lilibet Diana Mountbatten Windsor, over the weekend, or they're calling her Lily for short. She's the first senior royal to be born in the United States. ABC News foreign correspondent Maggie Rulli has the details.
This morning, the newest royal, born an American citizen, is now shaking up the British line of succession. Lilibet Diana, born Friday in California and nicknamed Lily by parents the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Despite stepping back as a working member of the royal family, Prince Harry is still sixth in line to the throne, followed by his son Archie, and now Lilibet. Prince Andrew, the Queen's embattled son, has now been bumped to ninth in line. Lilibet joins Queen Elizabeth's 10 other great-grandchildren. This 2018 photo showing the Queen with 7 of them at her Balmoral castle. Her first name, Lilibet, a tribute to her great-grandmother, and her second, Diana, to her late grandmother. It's a name also shared by her cousin, Princess Charlotte.
It seems to me that Harry and Meghan are reaching out to the royal family. Maybe there's a sense that they feel they did go too far in some of the things that have been said. Using Lilibet and Diana, I think, the two most significant women in the recent modern royal family, and I think they're honouring the monarchy.
A royal name for a California girl. Lilibet Diana's the first senior royal to be born in America. The only other royal to be born stateside, Maud Windsor, the granddaughter of the Queen's first cousin who was born in LA in 2013. Yay! Lilibet, like her brother Archie, won't receive a royal title right away.
She would be America's first princess. You know, it would be quite something. So if Prince Charles does become king, then that could well happen for both Prince Archie and Princess Lily.
And Diane, we've been hearing from the royal family as well, with some really special shout outs on social media. Prince Charles saying congratulations, Prince William and Kate saying they're just delighted by the arrival of little baby Lily. People here in London seem to be really thrilled as well. Many saying how touched they are by the baby's name as a moving tribute not only to the Queen, but also to Princess Diana. And Diana, I want to show you this as well. Lilibet Diana already making a splash across headlines and after headline here in the UK. Nearly every paper has her name on it this morning. Clearly, this royal baby is being celebrated on 2 continents today. Diane.
All right, good stuff. ABC News foreign correspondent Maggie Rulli, thank you. And for more on the newest royal, you can watch the ABC News special, The American Royal Baby, streaming tonight on Hulu. And how would you like to get paid by the state to go back to work? We have the latest on new cash incentives to get more unemployed people back into the workforce right after this break. Welcome back. As businesses reopen from the pandemic, more and more are complaining that they can't find enough staff, despite millions of Americans still unemployed. Now governments are stepping in, offering extra cash incentives to try to get people back to work. ABC News congressional correspondent Rachel Scott has more.
At Concord Food Co-op in New Hampshire, manager Chris Gilbert says hiring has never been a problem until now.
How challenging has it been to even just to get people to apply?
Very challenging. I've been doing this for 30 years and I've never seen it like this.
His kitchen now closed. Not enough workers to prepare the food. The store hours are reduced. They don't have the staff to keep the doors open.
What do you fear most about this?
Losing the sales enough that I have to start letting people go that, you know, in the long run, we have to close up.
Nationwide, millions are unemployed, but hiring has slowed. So now governors in 6 states are offering residents up to $2,000 to get back to work.
We're just stepping in. We're saying, look, let us take that burden, allow folks the opportunity, make it equal across the board, regardless of what you're going to do. We're not going to discriminate by what your job might be. We're going to make sure it's available to everybody.
New Hampshire is one of 25 Republican-led states moving to slash federal unemployment benefits for millions this summer. Jeff Bankel, who owns a bakery with his family in Arizona, says those weekly checks are part of the problem.
Are you really going to bust your butt for 40 hours a week for an extra $60? For a lot of people, the answer is no.
Economists insist that's only a small piece of the puzzle, pointing to other factors like lack of childcare and concerns about COVID-19. But some states are stepping in to help with that, too. Arizona's governor is giving out a one-time bonus of $2,000 and 3 months of child care assistance for those who return to work, keeping small business owners optimistic.
I had doubled the size of the bakery in 19, and we were doing better than we ever had. And we're still not back where we were, but the end is in sight. We'll get there.
All right, so here's the deal. In order to cash in most of these states, you have to come off of unemployment and show that you've been back at work for at least 8 weeks. In states like New Hampshire, you can get a smaller stipend of $500 if you take a part-time job, and you can still get a stipend if your job is remote. Diane?
All right, ABC News congressional correspondent Rachel Scott, thank you. And that does it for this ABC News Live update. I'm Diane Macedo. Thanks for joining us. And remember, ABC News Live is here for you all day with the latest news, context, and analysis. I'll see you back here at 3 p.m. Eastern with Terry Moran for The Breakdown. Have a great day.
Some might call them the faithful, others might call them fanatics. They are for certain fans of Elvis Presley, and today thousands of those fans were drawn to Memphis as the Presley home, Graceland Mansion, opened its doors to the public for the first time ever.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.